So I think a lot of the reason why people stuff up in dating is because they aren't discerning the advice of how to be a good partner versus the advice of like how to approach dating. So there are two sets of rules when it comes to, say, the ultimate goal of having a baby and like family with someone. Two sets of rules. There are the dating rules or the dating advice and the dating guidance, and then there's the relationship rules, the relationship advice, the relationship guidance. They're two very, very different things. If you applied the relationship advice to your dating strategy, you would get walked the fuck all over and you would be exhausting yourself for basically strangers who don't have any type of commitment or attachment to you. And then if you applied only the dating advice to your relationship, you'd have a really toxic relationship where it would be empty and meaningless and selfish and like one-sided and really kind of just not a good, healthy relationship. So the dating advice is really, really cool and like really, really important. Who is this motherfucker? I hate this asshole. Someone just texted me. Alright, so the dating advice is, it's more based around protecting yourself from the harms of dating, mindset. You've got a goal. You have boundaries. It's about practicing your boundaries. It is about knowing your values, knowing what you're looking for, and it's also about attraction as well. It's very, very important to unfortunately prioritize your attractiveness, your own personal attractiveness when it comes to the dating phase of your journey towards having a family with someone. So I'm just kind of like talking off the top of my head, but let's go into the minutiae of that. So looks is kind of important. So like groom yourself, get surgery if you have to. If you've got a big ass nose, fucking get surgery if you have to. And if that's the difference between women matching you and women not matching you, it might be a worthwhile investment. It might be just an objective step, part of your goal to get more options and then get more women. Wait, why am I only talking to men? I'm talking to women as well. Alright, so my advice is not gender based. It applies to both men and women. So being physically attractive, if you're a woman, have long, beautiful, silky hair. Even if you don't like it, dudes like that. Smell nice, dress nice. Dress in the style of the person that you want to attract. So if style is important to you, then if you're a goth girl, dress goth. That's fucking cool, and you'll attract goth guys. If you're a goth girl and you dress preppy, you're going to attract preppy guys, and then you're going to be kind of sad because you missed out on all the goth guys who you could have fallen in love with. I'm like this very weird like style where I'm like kind of businessy, modest, minimal, thug, street, sexy, and almost a little bit of like punk or something, like all in one. So I'm gonna dress like maybe like gamer girl style, whatever that is. Who's an example? I kind of like, there's this chick like Gabriette. She's like a model. She kind of has the style that I have. So I'm going to dress like that because style is very important to me in men. So I'm going to dress that way so I can see and recognize and attract men who like my aesthetic. Because men won't match with me if they really, really hate my aesthetic. So I'm going to dress like very authentic and true to myself, and then attract a smaller quantity of higher quality options rather than a big quantity of like whatever kind of average basic options. So attraction is very important. What are the other aspects of attraction? Confidence is the most important thing. You can't be confident unless your energy is right. So you need the best energy humanly possible. You need to be the highest vibration you can possibly be. That means you are so fucking high and happy and like blissed out. You don't even have to say a word when you're in the presence of someone, because they're so attractive to how fucking healed and positive your mind is, that's where a lot of your confidence comes from. It comes from having a nervous system that doesn't have any fear, anxiety, doubt in it. Being anxiety-free, 100% deeply shame-free, insecurity-free, and anxiety-free, these are all mental mindset things, will make you extremely, extremely attractive in dating. Not doubting a single word that you say, not having any insecurities. You could have a big nose, but if you're not insecure about it, they don't give a fuck either. You could be a woman and you could be wearing no makeup one day. If you're not insecure about that, they don't give a fuck either. So never ever underestimate the importance of I don't really like the word confidence, because I think a lot of people try to put on a fake, talkative, loud, fake version of confidence. Fake confidence can actually come across as unbearable and obnoxious and not make you attractive. So never ever fucking fake confidence. You actually need real confidence, which is a very high vibration and a regulated nervous system that isn't triggered by much stuff, that doesn't have a lot of sinking negative feelings inside of it. That's kind of risen above a lot of the negativity of the world and other people's words and whatnot, and you're kind of just sitting blissed out in this very pleasant vibration, and you're completely anxiety free, and you're completely self-doubt free, and you're completely insecurity free. So these are all mind things that you can master with affirmations. Affirmations might take sometimes they take some time. You'll write out an affirmation, I'm completely free from anxiety, but it might take you 6 months for you to recognize, oh fuck, okay, now I'm free from anxiety. So have faith in affirmations. They do work, but sometimes they take a while to manifest. So use your affirmations to define your mindset. What else comes to attractiveness? Oh yeah, having a very happy, happiness is real happiness, not fucking fake happiness. Fake happiness is fake confidence, fake happiness, fake, people who talk more than they fucking feel. That's the most unbearable form of social presence or personality that people try to go about. Don't do that. Have a real sense of happiness. So you do have an extremely good diet of just raw fruits and vegetables. If you eat lean meats, that's great for your nutrition, but it's gonna fuck up your energy and your vibration. So if you have a very clean, very, very clean vegan diet where you're eating an abundance of alive, fresh food, washed, and then supplement the iron, the B12, the fucking whatever, then yeah, that's really good for you. What else when it comes to being attractive? Or detachment, extremely important. Detachment is very important. So your emotions and your happiness isn't defined by how much attention you get from your crush, how often they text you, how often they call you, how you completely emotionally detached from them. You don't have an emotional attachment to them during the dating phase. So they could ghost you and it wouldn't affect you emotionally. They could, reply 8 hours late to a text. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect you at all because you're unattached at that stage. So you're not needy. You don't need them for attention. You don't need them for love. You don't need them for anything. You don't need them for anything. are purely focused on being attractive at this stage. So detachment is very important. Men really, for women, like men really like and fall in love and want to chase women who are enjoying themselves in the presence of a man. So if you try to like focus on the guy and connect with him and love him and shit like that, it might turn him off a little bit. But if you are on a date with a guy and you're more kind of focused on like enjoying yourself and having fun and like enjoying your own company with him with you, and like you guys are bantering, you're laughing and you're joking, and you're just completely detached and you couldn't care less about what he thinks of you couldn't care less about his feelings towards you, you're just like purely focused on being the best, happiest version of yourself, that's like very attractive to men subconsciously. It makes them drive like fucking, it makes them really want to not chase you, but it's like they focus on you, like, all right, and they're in their mind, they're kind of like, all right, I gotta fucking land this woman because she's so spontaneous and free, and like, how do I get into her life? I want her in my life. She doesn't burden me with anything. She doesn't expect emotional anything from me just yet. She's just so happy. So almost like, yeah, always approach dating from like a friendship perspective. You don't want to like explore the emotions of deep love and intimacy with them too much, like needing that. But you can contemplate and talk to them about that, which kind of gets their juices flowing. And that's like when you are passionately but objectively talking about love and healthy relationships and happiness and, you know, supporting each other and stuff like that, he can sense that you are the option for that. You're the woman for that. He has your insights into that, but he can also sense that you're not directing that towards him. That's like who you are, and that's what you're looking for in dating. And like, yeah, that kind of inspires him a little bit. For both men and women, people want things that are better than them in life. So women want men who are happier than them and more confident than them, and we associate our sense of freedom from suffering and relief and happiness with someone who provided us with a sense of happiness when they were in the same room as us. So if you can always be happier, higher vibration, more detached, more confident, more anxiety free, just overall like generally happier than your date, they will look up to you as like, oh, that's like my source of happiness, or like I felt happiness when I was with that person. So that's what makes you very attractive. That's what makes them want to chase you. Yeah, okay, so the other thing too is protection and boundaries and walking away. This is like the tough part. So if you recognize that someone doesn't have a good enough character to be a good partner, then unfortunately you have to walk away from that. But before you do that, you've got to mentally prepare yourself to be able to walk away without being harmed and devastated when someone you like actually isn't the best option for you. So that I'll just, leave it at that. And then the other thing too is like boundaries. Never ever do something that has harmed you in the past. So for women, if you've had a great connection with a man and you slept with him on like the first, second or third date, and then he kind of like started to slowly ghost you after that, and that harmed you, never ever ever fucking do that ever again. Never ever fucking do that ever again. That was like, sex for women is like a very vulnerable psychological act and investment into a man. Never fucking do that with a fucking stranger. Are you kidding me? Never fucking do that with a fucking stranger. You have way too much like love and respect and honor for yourself just to let some fucking predator use you. So as a woman, you have to know how to like go about dating in a way that you get what you want without ever offering anything that is dear to you, that is like precious to you personally. The irony is men fall for you harder, and they want you more, and they consider you more seriously when you don't sleep with them, when you don't sexualize yourself, when you never offer yourself sexually to a man. There's no energy that distracts him or you from actually focusing on love, commitment, loyalty, friendship, communication, fun, all of the subtle joys of a good, healthy relationship. They become the primary focus. And if he tries to redirect that or take away from that, if he starts sexualizing you without your permission, punish him in the form of just, you don't reply for like 1 or 2 days. You just disappear for 1 or 2 days. That puts him through pain. And then eventually he gets the point that like, he can't go there. Otherwise he's going to get fucking ghosted. So, and I think that's a fair enough form of punishment. You don't really want to argue with these pieces of shit. Or you can communicate with them directly, but when you do communicate your boundaries, make sure it's from a place of like massive self-love and massive self-respect, but also communicate it to him with respect as well, so he receives it in a really palatable way where he's like on board with it. Because most men do respect your boundaries, absolutely. It's just that us as women, we don't really understand how to communicate our boundaries effectively in a way that actually makes him want to chase you more. I'm sure there's like a little bit more to like being attractive. So those are the dating rules. Those are the rules in dating. Then you put a full stop after that, and then you completely separate that from the rules of being in a relationship. So if you're able to master your dating strategy, it should be very, very, very easy for you to get a relationship with any type of man that you want. With any man that you want, it's just easy. You've done the work, you've done the communication, you've done the strategy. You haven't told him directly, but you're working your magic and it's working. This always happens for me personally. Literally any man that I want. And then like you've inspired him enough and you've spoken the man's language enough for you to talk. So maybe you guys have had the conversation. Alright, the other thing with women is like, never ever wait for a man to make you his girlfriend, because it'll never fucking happen. They're completely scared and useless when it comes to that. So you as the woman, if you want something done, you do it yourself. You're the one who starts talking to him about how amazing a relationship would be, like a good, happy, healthy relationship. It inspires him. He agrees to it. Let's go. All right, now you're in an official relationship. Now, so it's still important to have all of those dating skills and all of those dating strategies still applying and still integrated, you're naturally kind of practicing them without trying, because it's in a relationship, it's still very important to be attractive to the opposite, to your partner. Otherwise, if they lose attraction for you, yeah, it's a really big issue. They won't be motivated to like love you or do any of the good shit. All right, so now when it comes to you're actually in a relationship with this person, that's when you really start practicing mutual expression of love, mutual expression of words of affirmation, mutual practice of doing really cute, sweet, awesome things for one another, mutual practice of loyalty and love and deep love, mutual practice of kindness and care and sweetness, and like doing really fucking cute shit for each other. There are like on Instagram, there are like these accounts where they have these 2 little cute cartoon characters, like these 2 little love bears, and they're so cute and sweet to each other. Like they make each other like cups of tea, they protect each other, they call each other, they get sooky with each other when they're not, texting all day and stuff like that. That's when you can start to be like those cute little linked up love bear things. If you did this in dating, it would just be a nightmare. It would just be really painful for you because it's weird and it's uncomfortable and people aren't ready for that level of intimacy and mutual love and whatever when they're still like figuring out if you're even hot to them psychologically. So when you're actually in a relationship, that's when you can start buying things for each other. That's when the man can start providing for you if that's what makes him happy. That's when the woman can start sleeping with the man. You should never fucking do that with a man that you're not in a relationship with, because so many psychopaths are just going to use you and hurt you and traumatize you. You should, as a woman, that's when you can start, being cute, like calling him like whatever during the day. It's when you can be up each other's ass, doing really cute, nice, sweet things for each other constantly, and you can both surrender into the fact that you're both committed now, and you can both really enjoy that. You can both start being needy, creepy, psycho, like little freaks for each other. You should always be doing it for one another. It all should always be a mutual connection in regards to like relationship practices. If the woman is doing like everything kind and awesome and sweet for the guy and the guy's doing nothing, maybe you've gotten into the relationship with the wrong man. But if you guys are doing mutual relationship practice of values, that's awesome. That's what a relationship is for. It's to make each other's lives better, to make each other feel more loved, to have someone who you can talk to who doesn't judge you, to have someone who accepts you for who you are, to have someone to support you in life, to have someone be there for you when you're going through your tough moments, to have someone to have physical intimacy with, to have someone who cares about you, like honestly. And you guys do this for each other. You do the cute shit for each other. Make it extremely fucking cute. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you kind of have to reserve for only a relationship. And I think the conflict comes from like women are saying, no men, you need to be like this, you got to be kind to me all the time, you need to do things for me, because women are talking about relationship success. What women fail to say is like, oh sorry, I meant that's like when we're in a relationship together. I don't mean that during the first 3 or 5 dates. And then men are confused because they're like, I did all that, but she fucking rejected me. Well, that's because like in dating, both of you have to focus on psychological attractiveness first, marketing yourself in the best way possible, getting to know each other. And then, once you guys are in an actual relationship, that's when you can do the more vulnerable things. That's when you can actually start to deeply emotionally invest. And also, if you want to, deeply materialistically invest in each other too. And then there's another thing to it. Like there's also stuff you would do for your girlfriend, like buy her dinner or buy her flowers. And then there's stuff you would do for your wife too. Like, so there's another separation between what you do in a relationship versus what you do in a marriage. What you do in a marriage is like kids and buying a home together. And so there are levels of investment that you make with each stage of going from basically matching with someone to having babies with them. And it's important for you to like compartmentalize those so you don't really have expectations that aren't actually, that don't make sense. Okay, bye.